Hey guys, how you doing? Let's go over a Hikaru Nakamura game. Oops, sorry. D4, D6, knight F there. C4. Hey Yuri, how you doing? C3. C4, bishop B6. Knight F3. B6. G3. And then, okay, so now what we have is a bishop. Bishop trying to dominate this open file, so Nakamura dominates the other one, so it's like challenging. And then they're both going to castle eventually, so this one's going to play, his opponent's going to play e7, castles and castles. The difference though is if Nakamura ever moves his knight, let's say here, right, this bishop would take it, and now if these squares end up becoming slightly weak. So Nakamura's going to try to next develop his knight, maybe the knight to c3, and then e4. So queen there. And this is to get off of this diagonal, because what potentially could happen is the pawn might later be pushed, and let's say that something like this, they want to be able to take and not have to worry about the queen being on this file open thing, and also potentially getting a rook here might be an idea too. So like if let me see, knight here, rook there, and then if like bishop f, then potentially you have d5, and now you have a rook here, and then potentially the knight can come in. So that's kind of the idea that I see why that player played that. It's kind of odd. Also, the reason is too, this move protects the bishop, so then let's say that we wanted to move our knight. Let's say after this, we really can't play this now, because we can actually, he could play up here, his opponent could, and then queen takes, and now the queen controls that open file, up a diagonal, I mean. So there's also that in there that potentially could be have play. So bishop f4, c takes, b takes c, and then bishop to e4, bishop f1. He doesn't want to trade off his bishop. He doesn't want to stick it on a vulnerable square. And if this bishop ever takes, now we have a pretty good attack via there, and we get some pretty good filtration. d6, and he doesn't want to trade off his bishops, because his position's kind of slightly bad, his pawn structure. There we go. So d5, he takes, c takes. Now the pawns are reformed, but if you notice the integrity of black's pawn structures, I prefer black's pawn structure just because of this is a pretty vulnerable spot. Yes, this is one pawn chain, but this is just really vulnerable, the a2 pawn. c4, now the pawn is protected. Knight retreats, knight takes. So that was kind of like an exchange sack. But if you notice, what does he get? He gets the d6 square, and this is like the blitz move. So the rook's under fire, rook f8, And if the rook goes here, you have potentially there, and so that now that's a weak spot. So you don't really want to put it there. So the best spot to place it is rook here, because just in case if the queen wants to ever take scope there, the rook guards that. E4. Now we're getting our pawn storm a flowing. It takes and then takes. So now the bishop, this is actually not a bad position for black, because I mean for white, this is actually pretty good for white in my opinion. The knight doesn't really have any spot to go to, so because the knight can't move, these two pieces are neutralized. The rooks really don't have any infiltration points, so there's no spot for the rook to come in. And the bishops have really good scope, and potentially next move's going to be e5, which is kind of forced here. Queen takes pawn, and then rook to e4 to start threats. Rook g. I like that move. I was like, yeah, that's power right there. And then rook h4. Harry, go Harry, go Harry. Yeah, we're gonna try to checkmate. H5. It's too bad we can't get our bishop here. That'd be very nice. Rook f8 and then g4. It's all over now. There's really nothing that black could do. If black tries taking, then that's going to come to pass, and you could even just pound right on through there with that, and then after takes, then you can come up and in. There you go. So let's see if the computer likes the thrust or just us taking the rook. I think it's going to like this thrust. Yeah, the thrust wins. The taking doesn't. The taking allows, this is the only way to, sometimes you have to sack pawns back. So I just play an all take. Hey, are you ready? Oh, I got your game. Do you want to go over it later, or do you want to go over it right now? Morphe, do you want to go over, because you sent me that you wanted to go over this game. It was Nepal. That here versus Morphe. Do you want to go over it now, or do you want to do some tactics? Okay. Okay. E4, E5. Knight F3. Okay. Sounds good. Knight F3. Knight C6. And White's just playing basically principal moves. Nothing too. It's the Italian game, but it's nothing too powerful. And basically, they're playing the Budapest opening. It's pretty popular back there in Morphy's time. It was a pretty it was very similar to a almost to a copycat, except the copycat would have been more of a Petrov defense setup. So b4 takes, and this does so that c3 and then d4 can be played, and that's why, if you're wondering, it's kind of like a gambit, but really you don't get much out of it. E takes, and then e5. That's a big time blunder. If you're gonna gambit, you gotta castle, and yeah. Yeah, you have to be okay with gambling a pawn, and if Morphy wanted to, he could just take the pawn again, and then he can't take back. So this is going to be more of an attacking position, because you got to be careful here. So you're mainly gambling two pawns to get a pretty massive attack. This has no real play to it. I don't really like this move here. I think it's too slow. Yeah. You have to counter. You have to do, you know what? When you get a chance to go for the takedown, do it. Right, but that's, see, like what my teacher told me is, you have to make sure that each move has at least two or more things behind it. Like even this move here, in the London system, h3 has a point to it after the king's castled. The knight can come back and reroute. h3, the king has a flight square, and if the bishop's right here, when h3, the bishop can always retreat back if the knight goes there. So that has like 3 or 4 ideas based around it. And even g4 could be played with h. See, that's 4 ideas behind in the London system. So each move has to have more than just one idea. This has a one move idea of stopping this knight from coming out, but that's not a problem. Morphy could just move his knight if he wanted to here and in there, and then castles. So it doesn't really, it just makes this more of a weak spot. That's just my opinion. d5, e takes, and then queen takes. Wow. Yeah, you kind of gotta go a little berserk, as we would like to say. At this point, it would have been smart. Yeah, good, he castled. uh, Very smart on White's part. Knight GE2. Yep. And then what in the world? G5. What does that do? That's crazy. That's like, I guess he's trying, maybe if Morphy was to castle, play this, but is that really going to do anything? Because you have bishop there, and you actually cover everything, and then the bishop retreats back. So that's kind of a null move. I think the G move, yeah. Yeah, but still, look at Morphy's development. He totally out, even in this position, he totally out develops his opponent. And the bishop can't come in here because the knight would take. So if the bishop tried that, it'd be lost. It's just ay ay ay, not good. He played d3 for real? Really? Oh man. He went against his idea was this. Just you know what? Go with your idea. If you're gonna play it, go with it. You know what I mean? Go with it all. All in, all in. And if this, then you know what? Go all in. Be like Morphy. Yeah, look at you know what? Just go all in. If you're gonna do it, go full bore, 100%. You know what I mean? But don't just don't change ideas in midstream. That'll end up being a futile disaster. And it ended up destroying White's position. Yeah, they're trying to gain. This is funny. They think Morphy gambited a rook. No, 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 no. You know what? Take the rook. Queen takes. Queen. Yeah, this actually I like this move. I like what the computer said. This so that you actually make white have to move. I mean, make black have to move. If he takes, yes, you get a pawn. So Morphy has 3 pawns for the piece, or for the exchange. So he should be okay. He has an extra 3. He's got equal material in theory. So, but this does nothing but just retreat, and it has 0. What's the idea? Basically, oops. The idea. Oops. What in the world? What are you doing? No, don't do it. Okay, good. Ah. What in the world? No, I don't want that. Ah. What in the world? Sometimes computers could be fidgety. Okay. This is the idea basically to attack the queen. It's like, but you're giving Morphy a move. That's not a very wise idea. In smack, Morphy's like, thank you for the pawn. There you go. See, that was his idea the whole time. It's like, but really, that's another one move idea. Because what else does it do? You're great. You just brought your piece back to the same square it started. That's, or I think, was this a, yeah, this is the same square it started on. Yep. Wow. That's a mistake. Yeah. Another mistake. And let's see. CD here is actually crushing. There's no way really to E4 was played, and that was a mistake. Yeah, developed a rook with tempo. That tells you right there. And then now the final knockout happens here. You gotta love this. If he takes here, you get mate. Yeah, that was a beautiful move, because this was actually, yeah, kaboom. This was from one of our puzzles on chess.com, I remember, and this actually gets played something similar to this. Okay. Do you got any questions on it before we start our tactics? What a combo. Do you have any questions? Alright, let's do it to you. Okay. So here we go. Knight or h6. So if we take the f3 knight, or let's see, if we take, hold on, if we play knight takes f7, oops, f7, king takes f7. Do we have anything with that line? Huh. We do in theory do if see knight takes f7, king takes f7, then knight e5 check, and if king let's say goes back to e8, we have knight takes g4, knight takes g4, queen takes g4, something like that. You got me, I don't know. That's funny. Oh, that's true. No, I haven't. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the takes here. Wow. Let's see here. We now have to take in consideration if we take the queen, he'll take our queen. We take the pawn. He's up a piece. Oh no. What did we do? What did we do? Let's see. I think we have mate. If we play knight back, if we play knight e5, knight e5, and if bishop takes d1, we have bishop g6 mate. I think that might be the idea. What do you guys think? Thinking that's it. Oh. Oh, bishop, okay. Okay, you're threatening, mate. Huh. So we had the right idea. He takes. Huh. Okay, let's give that another go. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, let's see here. Excuse me. Let me see. So queen check. We have an idea. Rook e7 check. Let's see. Rook e7 check. King has only really one move. F6. King f6. Rook f7 check. King e5. Queen e3. Check. So rook e7, king f6, rook, whoa, rook e6, and we actually win the queen. But he can actually back mate us though then too. With queen takes e, bishop takes, and then rook back rake. Yeah, so we can't actually win the queen in that line. Wouldn't that be nice though if we could? Yeah, let's go with rook to e7. That's the first move. Only move is to keep the checks. We can't go e6 because queen takes. The only move is here. Okay. And next on the list, we have to find the next check. So there's really two checks, potential checks. One potential check is on G3, and one potential check is on Queen E3. Queen E3 is G3 is best. Actually, we'd be equal material at this point. We have to go for the knockout. I think the mate. I think there's a mate here with. Let me see. Rook E3. I mean, Queen E3. Sorry, Queen E3 check. Queen E4. Rook. Yeah, but he has Queen E4 at that point. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you on that. I'm actually looking at Queen to C5 check. Queen C5 check is a power move. And the only way to survive is to block with the queen, and then we win the queen. There we go. Yes, we are on a roll. We just gotta stick to our due diligence, and we got this. Okay, Doki, let's see here. First thought that comes to mind is rook takes e3. e3. If king d2, then we have queen. See, queen e2. Check, but yeah, I'm thinking that this is kind of like a. Oh, no. Yikes. That was my fault there. Wow. That was pretty interesting. King d2. It's mate, so he has to stay in among his own siblings. So it's basically a draw. It's a draw. Okay, this one is based on being able to somehow get a knight here, because we can push, but the bishop's gonna get to G2 and stop everything. So we have to now, our base is about queening. How do we queen? And if you have any ideas, I'd be more than happy to entertain them. Knight B5, let's just take a look. Knight B5 check. King, can we work with anything more forcing though? Oh, that's funny. So knight C2, king D3. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I think you're on it. I think knight. Let's see, 91. I think 91 anyways, yeah. Knight F3. Knight F3 check. Yeah, knight F3. Let's see here. We have to make sure we have like a check or something. Oh, I think it's knight D2. Knight d2. Knight d2 stops the bishop from going to e4. That's the only move I can see that. Let me see. It goes g there, there, there. No, d2 stops everything. There's yeah, it's knight d2. Ah, boy. Ooh, knight e4 check, and then we can push. We made it. Nice work. Yes. Great work. We're doing it. Oh boy, let me see here. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at potentially bishop h6. Bishop h6. Or rook e3. Rook e3. Huh, this is a tough one. This fork. Okay, let's give her a go on that. I believe that's right. Now we bring the rook over to h3. Yeah. Nice work there. Nice work. Great job there. That was an excellent find on that. We got it. We're a team. Okay, queen h4 is an idea. I'm looking at queen h4. Or queen g3. Either one of those ideas. There's also rook. If let's say queen h4, if knight takes f7, queen takes c6, check. If king has only b8 to go to, knight d7, check. King has to go. Actually, I think the queen would have to give its life up at that point. I think the queen would have to give up. Queen takes d7 at that point. I'll just take the knight, take the rook. No, we don't. Let's see, what's the line if we take, let's say, see, the only problem with knight takes h8 is queen g5 check, and he unleashes everything. So I'm not sure if taking, because he'll win back the knight, and we'll have well he'll only be down in exchange, and he has more pawns than we do. We can't afford to go after the knight. It's too risky of a move. We don't have enough we don't have enough, I don't believe. I think this might have to be the line here, but you can take a look to see if it is. See, the knight on f6, Erie, protects g5. So that's why we're able to play queen to h4 at this moment, is our knight covers the checking square of the queen. And we have enough, I believe, with this line to mate. Sorry, I apologize. I don't know why I said that's funny. I did the H. That's funny. It's A4. A4, and there we go. That's what I meant. Sorry, A4, not H4. I don't know where I must have been looking over here. Yeah. Let's see. I thought he was going to take. I didn't think he was going to move his king. But let's see. What can we do now? Okay. We have really only one move. Queen takes c6. But let's see, where does that lead us? King a6. queen. A6 check. We still have the knight that we can grab too. I mean the rook in the corner we can grab too. So we're not out of any resource. Oh, we also potentially, yeah, I'm thinking maybe we have rook d1. He'd still be up, I believe, 2 pawns in that line. I think he'd still, Erie, he'd still be up 2 pawns. I'm thinking rook d1. I like queen takes c6, so I'm gonna go with that. Kazam. Oh, that's even better. Yeah. You gotta see the continuation, because we put a lot of work into that. I wanted to see how it ended, because who knows, we might get that same puzzle, but we have to take it farther. So now we have that in our database of memory. Let's see, is this right? Bishop takes h6, queen takes h6, and then knight takes d4. Did we actually pick up a piece there? And see, he can't, if bishop takes h4, if knight takes c6, if that's what you're thinking, bishop takes d2 check with check. So we take with check. See there? Yeah, I don't see really any let's see here. I'm thinking of potentially rook d6, because if we're going to try to get the d3 pawn. We can't go king g7 first, because I'm thinking that he can actually play d2 here. Yeah, but see, if we play rook d6, then we actually cut the king off from participating. But I see what you're saying. So, man, this is a tough one. Let's see, queen. So king g2. So if we check, let's give it a shot. He's in check right now. We're in check right now, sorry. It's okay. No, we're good. I think it's king f8, d2, rook e7 check, king. If he goes d6, then we have rook e8, and if d8 equals queen, we have rook d8 check, king moves, rook takes d1, bishop takes d1, and it's a draw. We got to keep the king close so that we can check, otherwise he goes. Oh. Oh, okay. No. No, no, no. What did I... Oh, it's okay. Ah. Oh, snap. Okay. Yeah, because of here. Yeah, here. This loses to, he could just come up to c6. And there's no way to do it. I missed that. So you have to come here, and then after queen's check, and then this is taken. Darn it. It was stalemate. Yeah. They give sometimes you do stalemate puzzles. Yeah, they give you stalemate puzzles. Rook takes f7 check. Bishop takes f7. And then queen f4. What do you think about that? So rook takes f7, bishop takes f7, queen f4. If king comes up to e7, we have queen takes f7 check, king takes, and then we can actually get our queen involved too in that line. With we have a bishop and we have a rook. We have enough material to go for the knockout. Let's see. So knight takes e5, bishop takes e2, knight takes d7, bishop takes d1. I see you're saying, yeah, then you can potentially win the I missed it. No, it's okay. Let's see here. Queen g4. I should have looked at that. I rushed to. Let's see, queen to g5, check, king takes h2, rook e3. If bishop takes h2, check, king h1. I think we're still winning. Oh, yeah, yeah, that works too. So rook takes e6, pawn takes, and then check. Well, I think he can get away. I don't. Let me see. Let's work that line. Rook takes e6. F takes e6. Queen g6. And then king h8. And I think he's safe at that point. I don't see really any way to mate the king after he pockets himself in the corner. And it also unleashes the queen onto our bishop. I really only see that this is a potential idea. I was just, what do you guys think? One second. Because we are using something called the rook lift. Oh. Okay. Then. Oh. Oh, I see why he. Okay. Okay. I now understand why. I didn't understand why that was till now. I'll explain. Okay. The reason that we can't do this right away is because he has f6, actually f6 here, and then it's attacking that first of all, and actually that is the main reason. Okay, we have to force him to take, and then we do that. Yeah. Let me see here. I'm thinking. What does knight takes c2 do? I think he would just play knight takes d2, knight takes d2. I was just wondering because he can just take at that point. Knight takes, knight takes. Interesting. Oh, let's see. So knight takes d2. Then we're actually, are we equal material here? But can we actually trap the queen though? Is there any way to trap the queen? I see what you're saying because the knight's under fire, isn't it? So knight takes d. You have to figure in what would happen if the bishop took. So knight takes d2, bishop takes d2, and then bishop takes f3, right? Bishop takes f3, and queen takes d2. But right, so knight takes d2, bishop takes d2, bishop takes, queen takes. No, he'll take the Morphe. He'll actually take our knight here and then be ahead of material because it's protected by this knight here. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, because you have to. I think this is correct if I'm not mistaken. And then now we can pick up a bishop. You can pick up a bishop here, and that was 100% right because now we're threatening mate. So you can't right here and right there, and if the rook takes, it's checkmate. So the pawn's gonna have to come up, and then we just run away, and we live to fight another day. Let's see, rook takes knight. See, rook takes e5, check. F king, g4. King g4, then we have I know we take the knight though. That's the start of it. Okay, I got it. Yep, this right here. And then king, and then rook f. I remember this one. Because we have to come here, and this is a mate. Let's see. Oh yes, we will do that next time. We will see the rating. Let's see. So bishop d4 check. If king h6. Queen h3 is mate, I believe, at that point. So bishop d4 check. Only move is f6. Queen d7 check. See, bishop d check, d there. Yeah, I'm sure that the check's right, so now we're at this point here. Ah, we got mate. Bishop takes f6 check. King take. Oops, I have to connect the checks. King takes f6 and queen f8. I think is mate. Let me make sure. Yeah. Oh. Yikesies, yikesies. Oh boy. Queen e6. Yeah, I think that's a force. Yeah. Okay. This is the rating of the puzzle. Let me do this here, and then I'll. There we go. The puzzle rating was that. Not the problem. Okay. Okay. This is a mess of a position, isn't it? Trying to think. I really don't have any candidate moves at this moment. Well, I guess I do, but I don't know if they'd work. Their knight takes d5 is one, or queen g3, but I don't know if that's good candidate moves or not. Oh boy. Boy, boy. Oh, we can grab a pawn. Oh, duh. Knight takes c6. What was I thinking? That's like a walk in the park right there. And then we pick up a piece. Let's see. If we play knight takes, so you have to play knight takes d5. When bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, queen takes d5, and then knight takes e7, check, and then we pick up the queen. There's a lot of different lines, but we have reformed our line from the Lord of the Rings. And then this, if bishop takes, and we get that. So if queen takes, bishop takes, knight takes, king moves, we get that. If queen takes here, we actually win more than everything in that line. And then we just grab that there. So there's all the lines. I'm just thinking, can we get anything more than the knight though? So you have to calculate in queen g5 check, f6, rook h7 check, king e8, bishop b5 check, queen d7, bishop takes, d7 check, king goes to d7, d8, and I believe then we could play e takes f6, or we could just take the knight. But I'd probably go for the knockout. So I'm with you on this here. Oh. No? What am I missing? Oh. So that was 27:30. So, drat. Should have looked for that. That was my fault there. I had that in my sights. I just didn't. I thought that we can use it later on to pick a queen up. I didn't. I should have seen that. We should have played that first. That would have been nice. Opposition. So G5, king F2, king G4, king G2, and then E3. Actually, these two pawns can win if you have Jeremy Silman's endgame book. These two pawns win. Yep. Let's see. Let's just make sure G5 there. Okay, G5, king G5, F G4, pawn G4, king takes, king F2, king F4, king E2, king E3, king E1, king F3, king F1, king or E2, king E1, E4, king D2, king F2, king D3, and then king goes, or we queen with check. Yeah. I think the pawn's too fast. Did you calculate to see how fast the pawn can go up though? Because he gets 2 moves before we even start our progress. So he gets 5 free moves to move his pawn. So let's see. Let's just say we get here. So he's already here. Okay, there. We queen in time. So it has to that's a draw. If we play king G5, it wins because if he plays, this is the move I was calculating out, G4 when you were hearing. King takes G4, king F2, king F3, F4, king E2, E3, king E2, king F2 or F3, king F1, E2, I think it's E. Did I do E3 already in there? So E3. Okay, E2, king E1, and then E4, and then king D2, and he goes king D2, then we go king F2, and we make a queen. I was wrong. Oh, snap. So up. Let's see what did I miss with the calculation? What did I miss? Oh, he can infiltrate. Oh, drat. I thought he couldn't do that. I had him playing this move. So this is the only way to stop. Okay, this is the only way to stop that. Oh, drat. Let's at least work it out. There we go. So close. We almost had it too. That's not your fault. I should have calculated more. I should have seen that. Let's see here. Yeah, just sometimes it's like we get so close, we get up there, and then it's like, boy, it tells you you got to be really careful with your calculation lines. Oh, I think we have a this right here. Rook takes f5, check. G takes f5, bishop f7, check. King h4, g3 is mate. Let's do it. Okay, let's see. Queen. Well, I think we got mate. Queen f4, check. King can't go up to h5 because that would be mate. So only move is bishop g4. Knight f5, check. King goes to h. If he goes h, I'm gonna do here. I have to put it this. If he goes h5, then or if he goes king h3. So if he goes king h5, queen to g5 is mate. Oops, drat, sorry. I forgot the other one. Paste. If he goes king h3, queen g3 is mate. There. Oh, what did I miss? Oh, that force is, oh, snap, 2710. Oh, he blocks with check. Oh, I didn't see that. Darn it. That's, oh, drat. I didn't see that. Yeah, oh, man, that's horrible. Wow. And then the queen could come here and he saved the day. So the only way to checkmate is that. Drat, I did not. That was blindness on my part right there. I had two beautiful lines made out too, and none of them worked. Okay, rook takes f6, check. Queen takes f6. We don't have enough material to. I was thinking about playing rook f8, but king takes f8, and then queen takes f6, check, and either rook could block. Doesn't matter which rook. And he has way too much material for that. Yeah, I think it's this. I think you're right. Simply rook f8, and that actually won a game against Topalov in the champion round, the champion showdown. That actually won a round. Oh. Oh. Whoa. That was mate. I missed mate. How did I miss mate? Wow. This still does win a. I think it still does win, but not no. I think he's still okay. Darn it. That was my fault. I rushed that. I thought for sure. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. Okay. He's about to queen, so now we have to see if we can't corner our opponent. Gotta be on the lookout for those puzzle things like that. Ooh, I like that idea. King e3, king e3. If h1 equals queen, we have knight g3. If king g2, knight takes h1, king takes h1, and then king to f2, and we trap the king. And now we need king, knight f2, knight f2, and that stops everything. See knight knight f2, king g1, king e2, and we should be good at that point because we made it. See, you have to go king to f1, king f1, king g3, king g1, and it's stalemate. let's see here. Well, I'm liking this idea. Rook takes b3, queen takes b3, rook b1. If queen takes a2, rook takes b8, check, king h7, and then knight takes a2. But I think that's a draw after that. I think that would be a draw after that, so so I think that bishop takes a1, and I think, are we up in exchange? I think we are up in exchange. I think we are a rook for a no, we have a knight and a rook versus a knight and a bishop. So that's that line. So rook takes b3, queen takes b3, rook b1. If queen takes b1, check, knight takes b1. So that too. So what do you think about rook takes b3? Sorry about that. I put this was the wrong line. I mean the right line. I just put in the B instead of a D. I mean instead of an R. Put an R. That's, yeah. Rook d8 check, rook takes d8, and queen takes f g6. I believe that's the move there. We remove because we have to move the rook off of the e file, and when we do that, then we can grab the queen at that point. I believe that's right. Yeah. There we go. It removes the guard of that square. We're on it now. Onward and upward. The never-ending battle of learning, which is really fun. I love that. Okay, so let's take a look at rook f7 check. If king e8, then queen e7 mates. Rook f7 check. If king d8, queen d8, then you have queen to B8 mate. Rook F7, check. King C8. You have rook takes, C7, check. King D8, and queen B8 mate. So we have one more to check out. Rook F7, check. King E6, and I believe then queen to E7 is mate. So I think we're good on either one. I was wrong. It wasn't mate. I thought that was mate. I think we win the rook. I think that's, let me see here. Let's see, rook, oops, don't do anything, don't touch anything. Okay, rook, F5, check, king, C4, rook, C5, check, and then king, B3, and rook takes C2, but I am not sure. Is that the move? Am I right, guys? What do you think? Is it rook F5 check? I believe that's the line, but I wanted to run it past you. What do you guys think? What do you think? The king can go to C4. The king can go to C4. But we win the queen. We win the queen with rook to C5. Do you see that? Rook C5, king B3, and then we pick up the queen. What do you think about that? Maybe we don't win the queen, because I think he could take the pawn. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. Yeah, king can take the pawn. Good thing we checked that out. Eugh. That would have been a sad state. Very sad. can't really... Do you see any way through this? Oh, we pick up a rook, don't we? We need 5, check. King, c4. What do we do? What do we do? Okay, let's give her a go. I believe that's right. Oh, yes. One more. Yeah. Alright. Alright, alright. Right. Hooray. Okay. Let's do this one. Queen, great work. Queen g3, or g6, check. King f. King f 1. Bishop f3. Or wait a minute. Did we do this? I think we did this one once before. Let me see. Queen g6, check. King f1, bishop g2, check. And if king e1, it's bishop check here for sure. Okay, now we have to decide, is it bishop f3 or is it bishop g2? Bishop g2, king e2, queen check on e4. Yeah, it is. Yeah. G3, H takes G3, F takes G3. I'm thinking that we have to play G3, and if C7, King D7, King B6, um, 6, G takes H2, King B7, and then H1 equals queen, and it pins the king. No, it doesn't pin. What am I talking about? It checks the king. It checks the king. And we win. Sorry, I gotta put a check there. What do you think about that? I'm thinking that that's the idea. What do you think? Because if G3 and then let's say he goes H4, right? We have G2, and he doesn't have time to push. And if he pushes, we queen with check, and then we're one thing ahead of him, and we have this past F4 pawn. So what do you think about G3? I'm thinking it's G3. I believe I've seen this one before. It's a very similar one. And then we'll conclude on this one. Oh, hey, how you doing? No, that see what if he goes G3, right? I'll show you the line. If he was to push the C pawn, this is the line here. He won't go up the board. He's not going to go up the board. He's going to push his pawn. Because you have to go you have to think long term, and the long term idea is we have to look at squares where the king potentially could be. And see what'll happen is at the very end on this line here, trust me, analyze this line, and at the very end of queening, he's on b7, king b7. When we queen in the corner, it's check at that point. So you have to plan for that when he lands on the square to protect the c8 pawn from queening. That square has to be the square when we queen that we check, so we get the one move. We have, oh, why did I have two G's there? That is funny. I don't know how I got that. Somehow I had two G3s there. That's not right. That was funny. I don't know how that happened. That was a hiccup in the system. Do you kind of are you guys working that out in your mind, seeing that G3 C7, king D7, king B6, takes, king B7, and then we push and queen. What do you think about that? Because it's not enough that we queen. We have to queen with check. We got to be the one to queen with check because he's going to be the first. Let's give her a try. Takes. Now we can get in front of the pawn. There we go. Perfect. This was that one. Oh boy. I forgot you can actually, the reason you also have to do this one too is you can actually get in front of the pawn if he yeah, here, there, and there. Okay. Ooh. Let's see how we're doing on time. Okay. We'll try one last one, and then I gotta log. Okay. It was all based on the runaway of the G pawn. I mean the H pawn. We had to get rid of the H pawn, otherwise he would have queened and mated us. It's kind of funny how that works. Okay. Let's see. The queen's almost trapped. So yeah, I think you're right. I think that does win the rook. See, rook A2. Now you got to find his best line. Knight E4. Knight takes E4, and I don't really know what he does after that. Let's see, does he have anything that he can do besides move the queen? No, I don't see any other idea. Huh. I think you're right on that. Okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. Okay, we'll end on this one. Perfect spot to end. Okay. You got any questions? That's on chess that we went over. Do you have a puzzle, or I mean, not a puzzle, but a puzzle? Do you have a question? Nope, you're good. Future man, loving it. uh, I'll give you 1 minute to see, because I gotta tell you, while I'm working out these lines. Oh, you guys are good. Okay. Alrighty then. Well, I want to thank you for all logging on. You know what? We're doing good. We're progressing little by little. We're getting there, and we're learning along the way, and we're figuring out why the problems are the way they are and how to fix them. And one thing that we got to always do, and we're having fun doing, is you have to. Life is about treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. And remember that mistakes don't define you. It's actually how you handle the mistakes that define you in chess and your life. There are no limits, Bruce Lee said. There are plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond it. And but what he means by that is we have to, for a while, you're going to be there, and you'll have to grab onto, like in Jack and the Beanstalk, when Mickey and Goofy and Donald are climbing up the giant steps. That's kind of the next plateau. We're helping each other lift each other up to get to the top. Then the other ones reach down and then grab the other one and help the other one up. And then they constantly do that all the way up. And that's what I hope, that because the Lord's given me a gift of speaking of chess, that I provide that on Chess Cruncher TV, that type of a platform, that we build each other up and we help each other to improve so that we can get to the banquet like Mickey, Goofy, and Donald did in Jack and the Beanstalk. There was a banquet there for everyone. And that's the learning process that we have to go through. And it's a gift from the Lord, and I wanted to honor him by doing that. My teacher also told me that the best thing that you can do for the chess community is to give back, and so I try to live up to that. Try to live up to what the Lord has for me to do about giving back, and what my teacher told me as well. And Bruce Lee says, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. And we have to take all of our knowledge and apply it. And we have to push onward with our will, even if we feel tired. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and keep pushing forward on studies, even if you kind of are like tired and you feel like I'm not going to study today. You got to do something, my friends, because you have to keep even in when you're at the gym. Maybe you're not, if you want to build muscling, maybe you don't work the arms one day or the upper body. You work the legs, and then if both those are sore, then there's a treadmill, and you can walk on the treadmill and exercise via that way. But just keep always moving, and even when there's active rest, like maybe you may have a cold or something, just pick up a puzzle book and just, you know what, just look at the puzzles and look at the notation in the back and stuff. Just keep your mind always thinking about chess. And you know what? We had a great lesson, and thank you for providing the Morphe game, Morphe's Revenge. That was a cool game. We're loving it. Morphe's always somebody to try to resemble your play after, so it's fun to go over Morphe games. And one thing we always got to do is remember to hang up our coat, hang up our hat, sit down and study when most won't. We do, and that makes all the difference. Because it truly does, my friends. And as Wesley So says, through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. And we'll keep pushing forward and having fun, striving to learn more and improve. You know what? Lord be with you. And you know what? Hoorah! Great job. Go Team Chess Cruncher. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. Be blessed and study and have fun in chess. Bye bye.